I'll introduce Eloise Lloyd, who is going to talk a bit about the Talent Alliance program and how partners can get involved, and an example of what Salesforce has done. Yes.
So keep that one live, right? Oh, I can have it now? Oh, right, okay. I feel like I totally interrupted you. No, that's it. Good. No, well, thank you very much, Pajal. Okay, so afternoon slot, and yet you all are still alive. I'm not going to be offended if you go and grab a drink of water because it is warm in here. But today I want to talk to you about talent. I want to introduce my dear friends, Nicole and Deepa, and I'm going to get to that in a second because we've got a great story to tell. But first thing, I'm Eloise Lloyd. I lead talent programs for APAC, and all I care about is getting talent into the partner ecosystem, right? I don't do anything with Salesforce recruitment. I don't care how trained up our people are. I care about our practices, and I care about your practices and getting the right people in there. So given it's an afternoon session, I'm going to ask you, who are you looking for? Who's hiring this year? Who's hiring? Great, excellent. Whose practice is growing this year? Good answers, excellent. Okay, so what are we looking for? What kind of people? Senior, junior, net new, certified, super badge? What are you looking for? And actually, I've got a mic. What am I doing? Here we are.
Throw microphones at me. Sam's run away and left me to it. So we're sort of looking for all round. I think part of what we really want to do is invest in, and picking me for this, because I actually look at running a program kind of similar to what we do in Canada, but sort of upskilling the next generation of Salesforce people and bringing them on and getting them really interested and invested in the platform. So whilst we're looking for some people that you might need to throw into a project straight away, having someone with you that you can bring along the journey and bring them into Salesforce, teach them a little bit about it, I think is a really exciting thing.
Do they need to be certified right now?
They don't need to be certified right now, no.
And full-time or part-time?
So Sam comes into this question. Most of the people that we've hired at the moment are full-time. We're actually running an in-house admin training program. So a lot of the people that we've hired aren't actually Salesforce certified. I myself am training about 5 of our employees at the moment across Jaipur, India and Australia for their first admin certification.
That's awesome. We should definitely talk about how I can support, because that's what we're here to do. We need to be supporting our partners as you bring in net new people, right? Because that's where our growth is going to come from. And we all talk about that. And I've got a slide you've all seen many times that I'm going to put up in a second. Who else is hiring this year? Anyone on this side? No hires. Who are you looking for? Tell me, or tell this mic, because I'm doubling up. Sorry, guys.
Just people with reasonable quality experience on the Salesforce platform. It doesn't matter what industry experience they've got. Doesn't matter whether they're certified or not, but really it's about onboarding people onto the Salesforce platform. It's the core of it.
So they've been on the platform before?
Preferably, yes, but we're also going through a path where we're kind of onboarding and training people continuously because there's just not enough talent around.
No. And how do you train them? Like, is that a massive list for you when you bring them on? How do you do it?
It's not easy. It's kind of a progressive thing. So I think the best training is kind of on-the-job training, shadow people on projects, and you bring them on. But there's also kind of formalized training that we try and do each week. We'd love to do it sort of 2 or 3 times a week, take a couple of hours out and sort of do the formal side of the training.
Yeah.
So we give them trailheads to do, then we do once a week formal training. But that's kind of one of the people who's kind of come through in our business through the Talent Alliance program is Bradley there. He can tell you exactly what's going on.
The Talent Alliance, like the Talent Alliance that I'm part of, that one? Talk me through it. What's the story here? Quick, I'm running. I wasn't expecting to do this. Right, excellent. Heels.
I was referred to Shrav through a mutual friend, and Shrav was my mentor through a couple of projects, independent projects.
Yeah.
And then met Steve, and next thing you know, I'm full-time with Shrav's team.
I love that. I love that. And I love the way you almost had a buddy sort of helping you connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So I'm a recipient of his mentoring and training. Highly recommend it.
I love that. Okay, excellent. I'm actually going to get into the rehearsed part of the presentation, so you can all relax now. Feel like it's that button. I'm going to put this here. Excellent. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm Eloise Lloyd, and as I finally sit down, we all know this slide. We all know that we've got 4.2 million jobs, 799,000 in JPAC, and why am I still echoing, guys? Are we good?
No.
And we know we've got this sizable opportunity between now and 2024. And so what is Salesforce doing to help? Well, that's where I'm lucky enough to have a job that I love. And all I do is work with partners like yourselves on initiatives that bring talent into the ecosystem. And, you know, when I look at this slide, I get scared because this is a big number. And Charles, as you all know, was here before and he's looking at me to help solve it, right? But I can't do it without your help. And I get scared because the numbers are so big, but I get excited because what it affords us is the opportunity to have a different conversation with people we may not have considered many years ago. And it opens doors. And we know that companies which have a greater diversity element perform better, right? So I'm so excited today to have some of my friends I am.
Yeah, they give it a little bit.
Like
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah.
This is natural.
I don't think it's that big. Really.
Maybe I'm sitting on it. So the Salesforce Talent Alliance was founded in June last year. And I would encourage all of you to sign up for it because it's awkward, isn't it? It does three things. It focuses on working with you to reward you and support you when you bring on net new talent. So just say you decided to hire 5 new people tomorrow. If you're a member of the Salesforce Talent Alliance, then the Salesforce Talent Alliance provides you with up to 10 automatic certification vouchers so that people you bring in that don't have experience or certification can automatically receive a voucher to take the exam for free, right? I also work on partners and all sorts of engagements. Where is Pascal? Right, Pascal, we're going to do cool stuff for the University of Sydney, right? I've got programs running in Melbourne with Monash. We're doing great things in the future with reskilling organizations. I do a lot of stuff with diversity. So my pledge to you today is if you sign up for the Talent Alliance, the automatic benefit will be 25 points towards the partner program and a minimum of 10 certification vouchers for your first 10 net new hires. That's by default, right? All you have to do is update a quip. I've even got a picture here. But what I'm really excited about is the diversity this can bring us, the buddies we can bring along the way, right, that help create pathways for people into roles. This is the Quip tracker. Update it. It takes 2 minutes. Pascal, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. You update the pink cell, you get the points. You update the rows 5 below, that gives you the cert vouchers. So we're just asking you to sign up so that we can help you, right? Beyond that, there's so many things we can do together, and I'm really excited about that. But today we are speaking to a good friend of mine, Nicole, who Vijay introduced me to, and I want to also introduce you to Deepa and talk about the buddy program, because we all love a buddy, right? That's how we create the pathway. I want to talk about the buddy program. Nicole, who are you? Tell us who you are.
So I'm Nicole. I'm the National Sales Manager at SalesFix. Been in the Salesforce world since about 2008 when I was a customer in London.
Awesome, thank you. And I've got to tell you, this is the highlight of my week. I really am. This is the moment where you actually get to sit back and be like, wow, this stuff works.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get into it a bit more. Deepa, who are you? Introduce.
Yeah. Myself, Deepa. I am a postgraduate in computer application. So my studies I back in India have studied, and I maybe I can tell my story, or I can, yeah. So I was into developer background back in India. So my husband got some health issue. He's a liver transplant patient. So we did a surgery there back in India. So we got a lot of infection there in India. So because of that, we got PR and we have moved in Australia. We both quitted a job in India. So I worked at a company called Cognizant Technology Solution. And after coming here, we struggle a lot, and we don't have local experience here. And I was into SAP, so I was not getting job in my domain. So I come to know about the Salesforce from one of my friend who told about volunteering, which is St. Kilda Moms. So I have joined in the team. So my journey starts from there. So after that, I started my admin certification and projects involved. So first project which I involved is buddy program after my daughter was born. So it's close to my heart, the buddy program. So we have started this buddy program in September 2020. That time I was a seeker. So now I think I can buddy somebody. So I can help someone to seek. And now I was into 2 part-time roles, which is Salesforce. So both are like different organizations. So one is non-profit and another one is normal transport one. So I think the buddy program starts from here, and I can Yeah.
Start to give back. Right?
Yeah.
So Nicole,
I'll
because
give you that.
you know, now that I've run across the stage a few times, let's step back a second. What are we talking about today? What is the program you've created, and why do these people care?
Sure. So last year, when we, had lots of time on our hands, I don't know who those people were, but apparently people had time on their hands. A bunch of us in the Salesforce world decided, well, I'm a doer, right? I'm not a strategic thinker. I'm a doer. I like doing things. And I grabbed a bunch of people, Jess from St Kilda Mums, Colin from, I can't even remember where anyway, a whole bunch of people got together and we were like, what do we do? What can we do that's going to help get people into the ecosystem? And we had regular catch-ups and we chatted and figured it out. And in the end, we said, well, why don't we do a mentoring, a buddying program? Because what we all figured out was that actually our first job we got because we knew somebody. Now, I'm from the UK, and that was quite a new experience for me. I spent 15 years in the not-for-profit sector in the UK, and every single job I got because I applied for it in a very structured, formal way. I've been in Australia for 12 years. I've had 6 jobs, and I've never had a job interview. Right? It's been coffee. I'm from Melbourne, so it's been coffee in a cafe. Maybe there's been a CV exchanged, whatever, right? But I've got every single job because I've known somebody, and that I hate that, right? I absolutely hate that with a passion. I think that is every sort of bias in one package. So, and we talked, right? And we all shared our stories, and we all went, hang on a minute, that's my story too. And so if you've got people like Deepa, new to the country, how the heck are they going to get jobs? So we decided buddies were critical, right? Matching people up. And we deliberately chose not to call it a mentoring program because we didn't want to overlap with the Salesforce mentoring program. It's also very informal. It's literally, I'm going to match you with you, go do it. Whatever you're doing, go do it, right? Some of the buddies are brilliant. Some of the buddy seekers are brilliant. And there's some people who aren't brilliant on both sides, right? But just to give you some stats. So we've got matched about 80 buddies with 80 buddy seekers. There's a few more than that now. 65% have had more than 3 touch points, and this has all been virtual to this point. I think some people have actually caught up for coffee when able to. But this is like lesson learned. If you're going to do something, launch it on LinkedIn and say, hey, sign up. Remember that LinkedIn is a global platform, and don't imagine that everyone's going to be in Australia. So they are from all over the world. A lot of people are from Australia. 63% of them have found jobs in the last 12 months. Now, I do not for one moment think that the buddy program was the only thing that got them that job, right? But it's part of it. I think the other thing to just some ideas on the sort of people we're talking about. So 75% are women. I could speak volumes about that, but I've only got 16 minutes left, so I can't. 80% of them are in Australia, but we got people from India, people from the US, people from London, people all over the world. And at least 20% of them have at least one certification. Now, how many people here know Jess from St Kilda Mums? Yeah, so she runs and has run a volunteering program at St Kilda Mums for years. Awesome person, now doing Blazer Trail as a business, as a social enterprise. I caught up with her for lunch the other day, and she told me that of the, I think 100, I'm going to get the stats wrong, but of the 150, 200 people on her books, at least 60% have got master's degrees. Who cares if they've got Salesforce stuff or not? It doesn't matter. They are highly qualified, highly educated, talented people, and they can't get jobs. So yes, we started matching people up, and Deepa was part of a team of people who helped set up Salesforce, a Salesforce backend and a website front end because I was doing it on an Excel spreadsheet. And so a group of the buddy seekers helped set up Salesforce and did the job, right? And I think you know, you said that helped you find your job.
As we are migrant, so when we are coming here, we are struggling to get job. The first hurdle I faced is like there is no local work experience. Then there is no lack of, professional networking. Then maybe the culture or cultural shock, maybe slangs or the way you are speaking, so maybe different. So after, I would suggest the volunteering. It helped me a lot to, and solve all the issues which I faced. So I think I can suggest all the people can do volunteering for the Salesforce. I think Blazier Trial, she started, we have a session daily. So morning session, usually she started like 6 to 8 p.m. So every day we have a lesson learned. So after work, or we don't want to disturb anybody at the home, so it is be early learning. So that's what we were learning, and got experience as well. I would say that.
So I'm just going to explain the slides. I'm going to slowly move through these now. These are just some of the people on the buddy program, and I put the call out when I knew we were presenting today, and I said, you know, if you're out there and you want me to put your face in front of people who are hiring, please send me some details. So these are people, they're not all actively looking, but a lot of them are. And you can see, I mean, look, this is Lakshmi, right? She's RMIT Salesforce certified graduate. Who wants to employ her? Who wants her CV? I have it in my computer. I'll email it to you, right? I'm going to scroll through them as we chat.
So how many do you have? How many people are involved in the Buddy Mentor program? I know we threw out numbers before, but just to recap.
My thing's not working. There we go. There's about 100 buddies and 100 seekers in total. So it's 200 people. Yeah.
And how many more do you need?
Well, there's always more seekers than there are buddies. So if anyone wants to be a buddy, let me know. There's a form on the website. So you can just sign up.
What's the time commitment?
Because
I know everyone's time poor. So what time are we talking about?
It's entirely up to you. As I say, it's a very informal process. For most people, it's the process is I go into Salesforce. Here's a buddy, here's a seeker, related list, bam, out goes the email, nice flow, etc. Blah blah blah. Off, brilliant. And then it's up to them, right?
Yeah.
And
even I got my buddy within 3 weeks. I got job. So it depends.
Wow.
Yeah. So he used to call me, and via meeting we used to meet.
Yeah.
So he used to guide me how to go, like what are the certifications or how some projects he used to give. So within 3 weeks I got job.
Yeah. So we have a quick document that has a collection of advice and suggestions and trailheads and things that people might want to suggest as a buddy to a buddy seeker, but everybody's individual, right? It's really about sitting and listening and hearing what people are after. Like, what are they missing? What sort of career are they after? What sort of advice can you give? And for some people, that's you know, one of our buddies does SWOT analyses with their seekers. Brilliant idea. Some people it's just a chat over Zoom or coffee if they can, etc. So it's all very, very, very flexible.
And what kind of buddies are you looking for? Like, is it practice leads? Is it practitioners? Is it salespeople? What kind of buddies do you want?
Anything, right? Because we do try and match buddy seekers with appropriate buddies, right? So if I know, and I don't always know, but if I know that somebody is looking for a particularly technical career, I'm not going to match them with somebody like me, right? I'm not a technical person. I will try and match them with somebody who's got, you know, technical experience and so on. If I know that there's somebody who's looking for more of a configuration job or a consultant job or an admin job or a sales job, you know, I'll match them with somebody that is in that vein.
Got it. And so one thing, you know, I'm afforded the luxury of doing my job, and it's opened up so many conversations that I never thought I would have in my career. And where the conversation always gets stuck is that you've got people over here that are doing good and desperate to hire talent and looking for it in the market. And then you've got the job seekers that are desperate for a job and need a bit of experience, and never the twain shall meet, you know? So, you know, and I don't know why that is. I think there's nervousness on both sides. Like when you said you were trying to get people to put their face up on a slide saying, I'm looking for a job today, you know, and you had to ask several times. There's that nervousness of putting yourself out there. And there's also the nervousness of taking a chance on someone who hasn't had experience. And Deepa, in your case, so different, right? Because you'd worked for Cognizant.
Yeah, my background is different. Yeah,
that's it. You had SAP and you still struggled. So what is your advice to practices? Like, how can they be a buddy but not feel obligated to take someone on board? Like, what if it goes wrong?
So we make it very clear to buddies. I hope we make it very clear to buddy seekers. This is not, the person you will be matched with is not going to get you a job, right? Either in their own company or someone else's, right? That's not the point. They will help advise you and guide. And some of the buddy seekers have actually got jobs. They're just looking for career advice as well, right? Most people are looking for roles. So we try and really set it up in that vein, right? That you're helping people find the path to get a job. How we bring people together, I don't know. For me, as someone who's worked in the partner ecosystem for 12 years, I think it's about being open to a variety of different talent and pathways in, right? I studied astronomy at university. I don't have any IT, I shouldn't say that. Where is the boss listening, right? I don't have any IT, I've got some certs, right? But I got into Salesforce as a customer long time ago. It was much easier. There are so many people out there. I used to work for Blue Wolf, and they have this, mythical person somewhere that they recruited from a bar in New York one day, right? And they became their best consultant. My wife retrained as a Salesforce consultant 2 years ago. They were a history graduate. They don't know anything about technology, right? I think outside the box is really important.
And what if someone doesn't necessarily want to be a buddy, but they are looking for net new talents that may not have experience on the job or may not have certifications? Should they call you?
Yeah, totally.
You got Pete?
I regularly take jobs off LinkedIn if I spot a job that's being advertised and email it to about 80, 90 people in Australia.
And now she's changed to this.
It was too hard to do that. So now we have a LinkedIn page.
She have created one LinkedIn page for buddy program. Yeah. So she's putting all the jobs there. So everybody in buddy program, they can see that.
Okay, so for people that have an open role, they could email you that job and you could post it in their LinkedIn group?
Absolutely. And make sure the job says, don't necessarily need Salesforce experience. Happy to job share and take part-time roles, right? That's not just flexibility around the skill sets you're looking for. Think flexible. Like one of our best consultants works 4 days a week. Why would you not hire Wayan because he doesn't want to work on a Friday?
And what about a bit of contracting? What a bit of take out a little bit of the nervousness around hiring someone who's not experienced? Would you be open to posting contracting roles? So someone can get hands-on, maybe get a taste of it?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Okay. And one of the other thing that we do, and again, probably shouldn't tell the boss this, but if a customer comes to us, particularly if a not-for-profit comes to us, and I, in conversation with them, figure out they've got threepence halfpenny, as they say back in the UK, to rub together. They've got like maybe $100. Oh yes, can we have Salesforce, please? Here's $100. Like we will happily put together a volunteer team out of the buddy program, or maybe work with Jess to put together a volunteer program to get them up and running on Salesforce. So we're doing that at the moment with I can't remember the name, Cambridge. Can't remember the name of the organization now, but brain's gone. Student organization. I got 3 of the buddies together. They had a small budget. I said, do you want to work with volunteers? Don't know, pros and cons, etc. Yeah. They're like, yeah, sure, let's give it a go. If we like the work they've done, we'll pay them.
I love it.
Brilliant. Win-win.
Okay, so we're almost at time. I want to recap on a couple of things, but Nicole, just to really land this, in case I haven't through my unbelievable enthusiasm on this topic, what's the call for the audience?
Call for the audience. Sign up. Salesforcebuddies.com. Domain name was available, right? Brilliant. Sign up to become a buddy. There's a form, goes into Salesforce. Fantastic. There's a LinkedIn page, do that. As I say, be open to recruiting newbies. And by that, I don't just mean people who are new to Salesforce, but people who are new to Australia as well. you will spot a pattern in the people that we have in our list. They are all from overseas. Now, if that doesn't you off, then it ought to, right? So do that. Be open to part-time jobs and job sharing roles, and join the Salesforce Talent Alliance.
Thank you. I love that. And Deepa, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for your time.
And Nicole, thank you for everything you do for the ecosystem. Just to echo that, this is a program that I fully support and love, and I'm going to throw it out there. Anyone that hires someone from the buddy program, the first 6 hires from your program, I'd like to support with some additional training. We have a 30-day training program run by Trailhead Academy. We'll do it for either developer or app builder. So if we have 6 hires, I'll provide a 30-day pass. It's a mix of guided and self-learn, but it's
brilliant,
run by the Trailhead Academy, and it includes an exam pass. So I want to do that because I really feel this. I feel a lot of our partners challenged when it comes to talent, and programs like this I want to support. So the same would go for any practice out there that is looking to bring in net new talent. If you want to create an initiative, if you want to run an awareness session, if you want to train up a bunch of grads or reskillers or people from an underrepresented group, call me. I'm hopeless with email. Pascal can attest to that. My mobile number is pretty much everywhere. So please sign up for the Talent Alliance. And if you never hear from me again, get your 25 points towards the partner program, get your 10 exam vouchers for new hires, and absolutely call me anytime. Let's do something, because we have a platform here to create change, and Charles is all in when it comes to net new talent. So if you've got an ask, give me a call. Let's talk. But thank you very much for sitting through my huge amount of enthusiasm for this afternoon. I'm sure you've had a great day, so enjoy.
Jordan's got a question.
Oh, we've got questions.
We actually have a
Please.
we have a question from on the line. So
on the line.
So Jordan will ask this question.
It's from our viewing party. It's directed to you, Nicole. I'm curious, does Nicole coach buddies to help them learn how to open their networks? Also, are you looking to expand globally?
Well, globally, yeah, the website is open. As I say, we do have people from all around the world. We do encourage. It is about networking, yeah. So we do encourage our buddies to encourage our seekers to be prolific on LinkedIn in particular, and to build networks and to reach out and connect with people, and to do that virtually and face to face. So yeah.
I like it. I feel like we've just launched a global buddy program. This
Yeah,
is exciting.
totally.
Okay, I'm in.
Awesome.
Any other launches or questions?
I mean, probably a hard one to easily answer, but I guess the challenge that we have in the ecosystem is because it's growing so rapidly, we've taken the punt and then lost them 6 months later, having trained them up and they've departed. What have you sort of seen as being, I guess, a couple of questions? One, how to retain, because the minute they've got the skills, suddenly the big players want them. But also number two, then is around time to an ROI, just from a more commercial standpoint. What have you been seeing?
Do you know what? I think that's something that you face whether people are part of a buddy program or a mentoring program or not, right? Anytime you hire someone, you run the risk of losing them, and I think it's actually more about whether, just as you assess whether a customer is the right fit for you, you assess whether you and the employee are a right fit for each other. And we all make mistakes, and we move on, and that should be the right thing to do. If your organization is the right fit and has gone through it, whether you hire somebody who's net new into the industry or has been around for 20 years, is that possible? Yes, it is. It's all about making sure they're the right fit to start off with. And I'm very carefully not saying the right cultural fit, because we all know what that means.
And I love that quote, what if you train them up and then they leave? And then the retort is, what if you don't train them
at all? Yeah, and they stay. Yeah,
that's the bigger fear, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but such a tricky one. Such a tricky one. Get the exam voucher for free, then it's slightly less of an investment.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Anything else? All right.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you so much for having us, and thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.